welcome to my kitchen. Today I will be making hummus with you, a simple recipe to have as a healthy snack. In order to make this, we will need garbanzo beans, which will be the base for our hummus, garlic, lemon juice, olive oil, cumin, a food processor or blender, and last but not least, tahini. Now, tahini is an interesting ingredient. For those of you who have never heard of tahini, it is sesame seeds blended with oil, so it's pretty much like a sesame seed butter. And that's where you'll find it in the grocery stores by the peanut butters and other nut butters. It complements the flavors of the garbanzo beans really well, and if you enjoy store-bought hummus, you'll get the closest to that flavor using tahini. So, before we begin, let's wash our hands in warm water for 20 seconds. I'll meet you back here after that. Our next step in our recipe is to get our garbanzo beans ready. Now, our garbanzo beans or chickpeas, you can either buy canned, already cooked garbanzo beans, or you can buy the uncooked and cook them yourselves. For me, I bought the uncooked version and I'm going to cook them right now. If you bought the canned version of the garbanzo beans, all you have to do is pour out the liquid and rinse them off, and they'll be ready to use. Garbanzo beans do take a while to cook if you haven't soaked them, so for me, I can just speed right through that in the video, but if you're going to do it at home, maybe soak them in water overnight, or just buy the pre-cooked to speed up your hummus making process. In the end, you're going to want about 1 1/2 cups cooked garbanzo beans. So I'm gonna cook a little bit over a cup of raw garbanzo beans. So I'm gonna get my garbanzo beans started, and I will meet you back here after they are cooked and, most importantly, cooled. Welcome back to my kitchen. So I've cooked my garbanzo beans and cooled them under cold running water. The next step is optional, but I think it's a lot of fun, and it'll help make your hummus a little smoother. So if you want to do it, you can. If not, you can skip this step, but it is to peel the garbanzo beans. And that's really simple. All you got to do is take a cooked garbanzo bean and kind of pinch it beneath your fingers, and it'll shoot out and the skin will be left in your hands. It's kind of fun to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it to all my garbanzo beans. If you bought pre-cooked, they might already be skinned, so you can also skip this step, obviously. So as you can see, I've peeled all my garbanzo beans. Again, it's not 100% necessary. I just thought it was fun, and it could be a fun way to get the kids involved, to have them help you peel the garbanzo beans. It's really simple and fun to do. And it will result in a slightly smoother hummus at the end. So next, we want to get our food processor ready. We're going to begin making our hummus. So our first step is going to be adding the lemon juice and the tahini and blending it and starting the process by making these two kind of creamy and smooth. So it's going to be 1/4 cup lemon juice. And 1/4 cup of the tahini. Tahini's going to be a little more difficult, but you got to make sure it's mixed well. Again, you can find this by the peanut butter and other nut butters in your grocery store. So 1/4 cup of the tahini. And then we start to blend that together. Alright. So once it's come together into a paste, I'm going to add our garlic. It's going to be 1 to 2 cloves of garlic. If you really like garlic, add 2 or more. You can also roast your garlic in the oven or in a pan with a little bit of oil until it gets some color. I'm just going to go with raw garlic, 2 cloves. If you want to know my least favorite thing about cooking, it's peeling garlic. It just so happens that garlic is also really delicious. So I'm doing my least favorite part of cooking very often. But that's okay because the end result is totally worth this struggle. So along with our garlic, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. It's going to be pretty thick, so you want to keep pushing the paste down the walls of your food processor so it blends up. It will start to blend easier here in a second when we add water to thin it out. Alright, so you're going to want like a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Again, with spices, it's kind of all personal taste. If you don't like the flavor of cumin, you don't have to add it. If you like spicy, you can maybe dice up jalapenos, throw them in. I'm sure hummus with roasted jalapenos in it would be really good, or like a smoky, smoked paprika, ancho, chili, something like that to give a little smoke and heat. It's all stuff you can experiment with and make this simple recipe your own and just really enjoy what you make. Now that we have the lemon juice, tahini, olive oil, cumin, and garlic blended up together, we can start to add our garbanzo beans or chickpeas. Whoops. So we'll do a little bit at a time. My food processor isn't going to fit all this, so I'm going to have to switch to my immersion blender, but I'm going to get it started in here. Again, just mixing and pushing down the unblended garbanzo beans as you go along. Alright, so I've gotten to the point where it's all kind of garbanzo mush, and now I'm going to add a little water and start to blend it a little more. I would start with about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of water, and if you need a little more after that, we can add a little more. So our hummus is almost ready. We just need to add our seasonings and taste it. I'll be using carrots to taste it instead of a spoon. So let's begin. Just remember to add a little bit of salt at a time. This cooking is very forgiving except for when it comes to salt. So this could be a difficult part of this recipe, is kind of getting the balance of all the flavors you want in this hummus. What I like to do is I like to think about the ingredients that I put into the hummus. So like lemon juice, garlic, cumin, pepper if you added it. And just think about those separately as you're tasting it and seeing, can you taste it, and is it an amount of that you like? So for me, I didn't really taste the kind of tanginess from the lemon juice, so I added a little bit more, which I'm doing now. If you want to taste a little olive oil, you can add more of that. I also didn't taste cumin at all, so I added more of that, and I'm still not tasting that much of it. So I might add just a little bit more because I like cumin. And just go ahead and think about those things and see if you can taste them in your hummus. Don't be afraid if you have a family member or a friend close by to ask for help, because I'm sure someone would love to help you taste your hummus and figure this out together, because this should be fun. And I think tasting and tweaking flavors at the end is a big part of why I like cooking. So once you and your tasting helper have decided you like where your hummus is at, that's it. Go ahead and fix yourself a platter like mine with all your favorite vegetables, some pita chips, whatever you have on hand, and enjoy your snack you just created. I'm Chef Kyle, and I'll see you next time.